Standing there outside her door, the night air felt strangely thick, like the world was holding its breath. It was eerily quiet. I knocked softly, even though the card had said the door would be open. No answer. I waited, my pulse racing, wondering if this was all some kind of twisted joke. But the note was clear, so I reached for the handle. It swung open easily and I stepped inside. The first thing that hit me was the smell. Something sweet, like vanilla, with a hint of something else I couldn't quite place. It wasn't overpowering, just there, lingering in the air. The lights were dim, just enough to see, but not enough to feel comfortable. I could hear soft music playing in the distance, something low and sensual, like jazz, but slower, more intimate. I stood in the entryway, frozen, unsure if I should call out or just leave. But then I heard her voice, soft and inviting. "Come upstairs." Every nerve in my body was on fire. I wasn't sure what I was walking into, but the way she said it, like she was expecting me, made me curious. I followed the sound of her voice up the stairs, my steps echoing in the silence. The music grew louder as I reached the top and my mouth went dry as I approached her bedroom door, which was slightly ajar. I pushed it open, and there she was. She stood in the middle of the room wearing nothing but a silk robe, loosely tied at the waist. The fabric clung to her in all the right places, and I couldn't help but stare. Her hair was down, falling in waves over her shoulders, and her eyes locked on mine as soon as I stepped in. "I didn't think you'd come," she said, her voice low, almost teasing. I swallowed hard, trying to find words, but my brain wasn't cooperating. I mean, what was I supposed to say? My heart was pounding, and I could feel the tension in the air. She stepped closer, her bare feet barely making a sound on the hardwood floor. "I've noticed you," she said, almost in a whisper. "For a while now." Her hand reached out, fingers brushing against my arm. I felt a shiver run down my spine. Everything about this felt unreal, like I had stepped into someone else's life. But her touch, her voice, it all felt too real, too intense. Before I could respond, she leaned in, her lips barely an inch from mine. "Do you want to play a game?" she asked, her breath warm against my skin. I nodded, not trusting myself to speak. Whatever was happening, I was in too deep now. She smiled, a slow, mischievous grin that sent my pulse racing. "Good, because once we start, there's no going back."